Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Production Line with me, Murphy. We are picking up a new little series here. This is to look at the missions that Cliff has been putting into the game. So he's slowly working his way through each one, and we've currently got 3. So we've got a small factory with a scenario of sell 3,000 cars, and you have to sell 250 expensive and 750 mid-range. Okay, or we've got a medium factory which will be to sell 3,000 budget cars, or we have got a tight budget where we need to sell 50 luxury cars. That's £5 million worth of luxury cars. We've only 10 days to do that. Wow. Okay, so what I would like to do, because one of the achievements in the game is to sell 1,000 basic cars where you have not actually put anything on. I thought that might work quite well along with this budget. So let's jump in and play this one, and we're going to pause it straight away as soon as it starts. And we have got a new ability to change the company logos. I'm hoping in the future we'll be able to import our own, but I'm going to change this name now to Murphy Autos. Why are you not doing that? Delete doesn't work. Let's try going backspace. Okay, and we can continue. Now, looking at the map, we have got 4 export locations. We've got 2, 4, 6 resource import locations, and we've got 2 research areas. So, I'm going to start in a way that I'm hoping that will allow me to manufacture all my cars without too much problems. Now, I'm putting in the main parts, so chassis and then paint. Let's pop you down here. Actually, I want to really break everything up, so I'm not actually. Let's pop you down a bit further. Yeah, about there. Let's take you out. I don't really want to be having to delete bits out of the game later, because money is going to be quite tight, to say the least. So there's our paint. So let's go and put in our engine. Yeah, the engine, yeah, that should be fine there. We'll go to the corner and then look at so there's our engine, then accessories, then we'll look at electronics. There's a good reason why I'm putting so much space between these things, and that's primarily down to the fact that when we research things, we want to be able to plant more equipment down without having to demolish it at first, because as I said before, money is going to be quite tight. So we've got the basics set up. We also need to get our resource importers. I'm going to go for 1 here, and I'm going to go for 1 over here. Now, I'm going for 2 resource importers on the basis that we will need to let's see if I put that way. Yeah, we'll need to get more later in the game. However, at this moment I want to keep things to a minimum. So let's straight over there, and we'll drop you straight over, and then we'll take you straight over as well, and there's nothing over here. Perfect. Right, alright, so that's the basics for building a car. But as you could probably imagine, having it all set up, as that, like that, is not going to be very cost effective. So we're going to need to chuck in some research, which goes here in those green areas, and I'm going to look at the body specialization first, followed by paint, followed by engine, followed, oops, no, close. Right, start again. Body is first. Paint is add to queue. Engine is, oops, engine is add to queue. Then I want robots added to queue. Right, so they're my first 4 that I'm going to go for. Alright, so we've got 600,000 and we can start the game. So everywhere's going to tell us they've got insufficient parts, which is good, which means everything will fly out. Okay, so we're going to leave this running at max speed. We have got a chassis assembly which will take just short of 13 minutes. So we'll start getting a bit of a backlog here on the fit body, because the fit body takes just short of 32 minutes. So there we go, second one in before the other one's out. Followed by our paint, which is 34 minutes, and then our engine, which is 23. We've got plenty of money available to us in the bank, which is good. Accessories is only 15 minutes, and electronics is 2 minutes, but I don't think we need anything on there just yet. And then these two are about 5 minutes each. So we are getting a bit of a build up here, and we are nearly finished on our research. Let's just pause, slow that down. So we're 95.7. Let's get that done. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. So we can now do the fit roof, doors and body frames. So we can break up this section, and that's taken us 2 hours with those 3 research locations. So we want now to have in the fit body, we want our frame. So pop one there. Fit roof. I'm not leaving so much a gap on this ones. And then fit doors. Okay, so we can go straight across, straight down, then back in on ourselves. So resource conveyors, everything's connected, and we've now got our cars going into this route as well. So fit body frame. So we had a pinch point of let's move on, just short of 32 minutes. Now the slowest section of here is the fit body frame, which is 20 minutes. So we've knocked that down by 15 minutes. Our fit roof is only 4, and our fit doors is only 6, well, just short of 7 minutes. So that is now our new bottleneck. However, that's only in this section. We should now start seeing a bottleneck appear around our paints, which is why we've now got paint specialization as the second area to research. Our chassis assembly is keeping up with both lines, as you can see. So there's plenty of vehicles available there, which is good. And then we're coming up to, where are we? 78. So I'm hoping that that'll be in very quickly. Where are we now? 95. Okay, so we now can separate our paint. So paint undercoat, dry undercoat, paint finished and dry finished. So let's pause that. So 4 hours in, and we've got 2 lots of research completed. So let's drop the paint in. So we're going to go like so, rotate, like so, and rotate. So we're just getting things sorted to start with. And our resource importers are in place. So now, oops, let's connect the road as well. There we go. Now we've got everything connected, and our new bottleneck will become fit engine. So we've got 2 vehicles sat there. So as it goes through here, it's only a few minutes in this location, and we've got 2 cars there already. So it's actually going to slowing it down from, this is 34 minutes 24, and I think this section here, drying, which is 14 minutes, is going to be the second slowest. So we are at the right point for then getting this to be more effective. And next point is engine specialization, so we can get the powertrain, radiator, exhaust, wheel assembly and steering wheel assembly, which we can then line up down past this one. Insufficient resources. So because we've got everything going into this single location, we're having to wait for resources more so than not. So having everything broken down a bit like what we've got here, so we've got on this printer, it's got both, there we go, it's got both the undercoat and the top coat, whereas that's only got undercoat and that's only got top coat. And the same with these, the amount of things stored opposed to what's required over here is greatly reduced, which makes a massive difference. So we've now got £150,000 and we now need to build out our engine. So we want to fit powertrain, so that's going to take us, it's going to cost us 20,000, so let's drop you down. Our radiator, our exhaust, that was our exhaust, wasn't it? Yeah. Our wheel assembly and steering wheel. Okay, so we've got 27,000 left. We need to connect this all up. We've got 12,000 left. Resource right, this is where we wipe ourselves out. So let's take out a loan. We want the lowest interest rate, so this one here at 5.34. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Yeah, we'll do that one. It just means we can actually move forward a lot quicker later in the game. So everything's all connected now, and we can get all our cars running down here. So because we've actually got this resource importer here, it's able to split everything down, so it speeds everything up. So the powertrain is just short of 2 minutes, the radiator is just over 3, the exhaust just over 3, the wheel assembly is just over 6.5, and the steering wheel is just over 7 minutes, which greatly reduced the time it takes for this line to actually manufacture, which is good. Okay, so if there's no car here, it'll send it down. Sorry, if there's a car here, it'll automatically send it down this route, which is the quickest route. Okay, so we're now currently researching our more robots. So what we can then do is look at our existing systems and then install more robots. So at the moment now, this is becoming a bit of a backlog. Okay, so let's just pause that. So our fit accessories, 14 minutes. So we can upgrade this to have extra robots. So that will speed it up by 7.5%, but it'll use more power. So we're going to go from 1436 to 1316. So that improves it immensely. Okay. And then we've got our backlog there, which is fine. Okay. We've got no research, so let's give that a shout. So my fifth research is going to be accessories. So we're going to go that so we can actually start installing each of those separately, which will speed that process up immensely. And then we can look at improved efficiencies, because I want to be able to start improving the drying speeds, the importer priority speeds, etc. So there's a lot of things here that can really make a big difference to the game if you get them early enough. And then obviously we can look at our administration sections a bit later on, and also when we're looking to start to sell our equipment, we can look at trying to get a bit more for it, because I think we only get about 50% of the actual placement value. Okay, so we can let this get going. And what have we got going on there? That's a little bit of a bug. Okay, That's absolutely fine. So we've got, as I say, we're now researching the fit accessories. So we've got all this space down here available that we can actually utilise to split off, because it will just work out quite well coming from that point there. But as you can see here, this insufficient resources, you know, it's a case of that's so inefficient having everything just on the main blocks like that, because you constantly, you fit parts, you wait for parts, you fit parts, you wait for parts, whereas having them separated, you fit parts, and at the same time as you're fitting that part, another one's coming in to be replaced. So it's so much more efficient. Okay, so if we were to watch this car now, so we were expecting it to see how long it takes for this one to get through here. Bear in mind this is this takes 15 minutes, doesn't it? No, 13 minutes 15. 13 minutes 14. Okay, so this car is still only halfway through, and this car has completed. So it just shows how ineffective these systems are as they are. So we've now got the ability to fit all these sections separately. So we're going to pop them down here. So actually let's pop you there. Fit lights, fit horn, fit seats, fit windscreen. We're going to leave a space for later, and then fit dash down here. And we'll put our conveyor in. Straight down. And back. We now just need to connect up a couple more points. Okay. And we can also, I mean, now we've broken this up, and we could just bring in another importer, and that should speed things up. But I'm going to leave it for the time being, because we should be able to get around it quite quickly. So these cars are flying through here. So bearing in mind this was with an extra robot was 13 minutes 16. We've got 3 minutes 6 there. Okay, so bear in mind this was 13 minutes 16. We have got fit lights that's just over 3 minutes, our fit horn just over 3.5, fit seats just over 3, fit windscreen at 4, and fit dash at 1. So we are flying through. So we now have a backlog at our quality check. That's good backlog. That's going through nicely. So what's going on? We've not got enough cars coming through, so we now need to start looking back to see what we can do. Right, so we've got that sorted. Let me pause that again. So we've now got this section here is not producing enough cars for us, because everywhere else the backlog is cleared. So we now need to consider replacing this section here, which we're not even a day into it yet. And let's have a look at our research, because we've just completed that. So if we're doing we need faster cars there. I'm going to say let's have a look at our slowest point on this. So this route here is we're going to look on the outside. So that's 20 minutes. That's 4.5. So 20 minutes is currently our biggest issue. That's only 14. That's going to be 2, 3, 6, 7. Yeah. Alright, so our biggest backlog now is fit body frame. So where we have to break everything up here. So if we look at our research. Alright, so we've got body frame specialization, which allows us to break that down even further. So I'm going to go on to that as my next job. Unlock slot fit windows. So we've got those. We can also add door specialization to the next section of research. And what does that enable? It just unlocks makes roof. Okay, so that will then allow us to break down that section of research, so we can actually then improve this more effectively. But because we've got all this space down here, when we can remove that, we should be able to put in a more effective route, which will be good. Okay, so we have, how many cars we got? Let's go to sales room. We've got none in the market, so we're making produce an hour 10 per hour, and we're selling 9. Okay, which is good. And how far we are? We are 1% towards our budget target. Okay, so everything is down to research and trying not to spend all our money too early on. Alright, 40-odd%. Okay, I think what I'll do is we'll leave it here for this episode. Next time I'll pause it just before we complete the body frame specialization, and then we'll lay that down, and we can get that working more effectively as well. So thank you very much for watching. If you like what you've seen, hit that subscribe, and until next time, that's Murphy out.